Hi guys, 18 Dap here and welcome to the latest matchday preview for the channel. It's for this weekend's League 2 fixture. It's far up north. It's Carlisle versus Doncaster Rovers. Let's get the video started.
So guys, welcome to the latest matchday preview for the channel. Carlisle versus Doncaster Rovers in League 2 this weekend, all being well, weather permitting, because the temperatures have plummeted. So this game may be on, it may not be, so hopefully it is. We will see. So let's get on with this one. If you're an existing subscriber, thank you so much for supporting the channel and continuing to do so. If this video has brought you to the channel, please consider clicking subscribe so you don't miss any future content if you like this sort of stuff. And if this is the first video that you have seen, this is a format that we go through match previews, look at previous meetings between the two clubs, current form across all competitions. I choose a Doncaster Rovers player to say a few words about. I choose the opponent's one to watch, but as I always say, you know your club much better than I do, so if there's somebody else that should be part of that conversation, get them in the comments down below. And then there's three predictions to finish the video off. Predicted lineup thanks to FanHub, the predictions league table that me and the family are doing, and then the all-important score prediction to finalise the video. So without further ado, let's get into previous meetings for these two clubs. And we faced off quite a few times in our history, 67 in total, but it is as even as you're going to get. 25 wins each, 17 draws across the 67 fixtures. And drilling down into the more recent five, there's not much to really split the two teams in this one as well. Both won 2, both lost 2 and drawn 1. So we go back to the 16-17 season in League 2. It was a 2-2 draw at home and then a 2-1 defeat on Valentine's Day in 2017. So we didn't love that one as Rovers fans. But then in 2020, the FA Cup, Rovers won that one 2-1 and progressed in that one. And then in the 2022-23 season, when Carlisle were promoted from League 2, we kind of traded blows. They battered us 3-0 at their place. Hopefully that's not the same tomorrow. But then on New Year's Day, we got the 2-1 victory at home. So yeah, literally nothing to split these two teams at the minute. So it's going to be a tough one to call for tomorrow. Current form though does shed a little bit of light and give us an insight onto what the scoreline or the result may be. For Donny, 3 wins and 2 draws, so undefeated in our last 5. Carlisle, 2 defeats, 2 wins and a draw, so their form starting to turn around a little bit across all competitions. On to Donny though, disappointed a bit in our last outing, managing a 1-1 draw at home to Salford after falling behind, which is a habit that feels all too familiar at home this season at the minute. The home form is currently being propped up by an impressive away form from the Rovers this season. We've won 4 out of our 7 games on the road. Home comforts are not really there at the moment, with draws against Salford, Notts County, Crewe, and then the defeat at home to Bromley as well. Personally, I feel that we've had enough in those games to win all 4 of those, and we've dropped 9 points, which could be massive come May, towards hopefully the top end of the table. And hopefully we're looking back at this and seeing that those 9 points are fighting for the championship or not, and we do get automatic promotion. We will see, only time will tell. But yeah, we need to really sort our home form out and continue doing well on the road as well if we've got any sort of aspirations of promotion this season. Carlisle, polar opposite really. The start of their season to Doncaster's. Paul Simpson was relieved of his duties at the end of August as Carlisle manager, and it was following a poor start and following relegation last season as well. He's been replaced by Mike Williamson, very good manager, and is coming to try and turn the season around, but they still sit just inside the bottom 2 with 10 defeats from their opening 16 games. So not a great start to League 2 for Carlisle this season, and they've got a decent squad, so expected them to be much higher than what they are. A win and a draw in their last 2 league games though, coupled with a Bristol Street Motors Trophy win, albeit not enough to progress in that competition, should give Carlisle confidence coming into this game tomorrow. But flip the coin over, Carlisle do have the 2nd worst home record so far this season, with 1 win and 1 draw from 7 games at home, scoring 7 and letting in 12. So it's not great at home for Carlisle. We're doing very well away from home, so if it's all on paper and the stats that we're looking at the minute, it's a Rovers win, but it's played on grass. there's 11 versus 11, and as you can see, the form started to turn a corner for Carlisle, so it could be anybody's game tomorrow. On to player profile. So for this one, I have gone with Jordan Gibson. Carlisle fans will know him well. Winger, playing on the left, but is kind of down as a right midfielder, but I don't think he'll replace Molyneux on the right. But so far this season, he's doing okay. 6 goal contributions across all competitions, scored 3, set 3 up, and he looks to be a threat more often than not going forwards. There is more needed in the attacking third. Grant's come out and said that is demanding a lot more from all of the attacking players, a little bit more kind of composure with decisions, passes that we're making, shots that we're taking on. Yeah, improvements needed, and Grant is demanding those. Jordan was very unfortunate against Salford. Decent shot off of the foot of the post, so I think if that goes in, it's a very different game. But yeah, hopefully Jordan can deliver along with the other players, and we start scoring and firing on all cylinders, which I think will come sooner rather than later. And so often former players come back to haunt us. I'm just hoping that Jordan can do the same to Carlisle and put on a performance like he did at Grimsby, and really put Carlisle to the sword. We will see if that happens tomorrow. On to the opponents one to watch. So as I said at the start of the video, you know your club much better than I do, so if there's somebody else that we need to be talking about here, get them in the comments down below. But I've gone with Luke Armstrong. Decent little striker. I wouldn't mind seeing him in a Donny shirt, to be fair. 28 years old, centre forward, 284 appearances in his career, 75 goals, 19 assists, and it was decent at this level at Harrogate. He did more than enough to warrant the move up a division to Carlisle in League One last season. Didn't really do much. I think he scored 3 goals, maybe set 1 up in the short time that Carlisle were in League One, and Luke was playing for them. But I think him, along with the other players that Carlisle have got in the squad, they should be much higher, and really putting some performances on against teams in League Two. So something's not quite clicking with Carlisle at the moment. But yeah, I think Luke Armstrong's always a threat in front of goal if he gets a chance. More often than not, he will find the back of the net at this level. So I think if we keep him quiet, we should be okay tomorrow. Moving on to the predicted team lineup. So this is thanks to FanUp. If you've not downloaded the app yet, go ahead, do so. Plenty of features to get your teeth stuck into, and I've made a couple of changes in this one. I think I've gone with Sharman Lowe in goal, a back 4 of Sterry, Olowu, McGrath and Fleming, midfield 3 of Bailey, Kelly and Sabara. That's the one change that I've made. Luke Molyneux on the right, Jordan Gibson on the left, with Billy Sharp up front after getting back on the score sheet last Saturday. But yeah, I think Sabara deserves a start. He impacted and influenced the game when he came on last week and set the goal up for Sharpie. So I think, yeah, that's what I'm going with. If you think there should be changes, get them in the comments down below. And that takes me on to the predictions league table. So if you're new to this, me and the family predict the scoreline for every single league game this season. Get the scoreline spot on, it's 3 points. Get the outcome of the game right, but not the score. It's 1 point. Completely wrong, it's no points. And if you watch the matchday vlog, you'll know that my dad reverted back to his Desmond. He went with 2-2 against Salford. All the rest of us went with wins, so only 1 point added to the table. So my dad's up to 7 points now, but still bottom. Max in third on 10 points, me in second on 11, and Chris in first on 12. So extremely tight. Plenty of football still to be played. And finally, that takes me on to the score prediction to round the video off. And I think conditions could play a part in this one. I'm hoping that the form and the stats that we looked at do play a massive part in this game, to be fair. Obviously, decent away form. We want that to continue as a Rovers fan. But Carlisle do look like they may have turned a corner, so I think it's going to be a tough one. I don't think it's going to be as cut and dry as some may think. But I do think we've got enough in us to bring the 3 points home should the game go ahead. So I'm going to go with a tight 2-1 win. Come on, hopefully that's right. And that's where I'm going to leave this one. If you've enjoyed it, whack a big thumbs up on it for us, please. Comments in the section down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.